What's going on, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from three different places: the west side of San Antonio, Southern California. You see Fernandez, United States Marine Corps retired. Rick Fernandez with us today. I'm on the outskirts of Houston, Texas. My name's Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia producing today's show. We go for about an hour, 15, hour and a half talking sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. But first and foremost, gentlemen, happy Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th. And without further ado, we got to play the intro music.
Fernandez has intro music. Did not know that. Is this new?
New to me?
That's Friday the 13th.
Oh, there you go.
Come on. It's Friday the 13th, man.
Hey, every Friday we don't give a damn. But Friday the 13th?
It's Friday.
Man.
Damn.
That's right, baby. You know, Friday the 13th is interesting, man. You know, there are a lot of people who are superstitious about certain things. And it reminds me back in the day of Peyton Manning when he says that he's not superstitious, just a little stitious. Are there any things that you do that you try to avoid? Because the other day I was out and about and I saw a ladder and I didn't want to walk through it, right? Because that's a superstitious bad luck, right? Do you believe in any of that crap? The walking under the ladder, the breaking of a mirror, anything like that?
I don't, bro. I really don't, man. And you know, Steph gives me crap about it because she's really superstitious, and I am
Really?
just stitious. I'm a little bit stitious. That's also an Office reference, right?
Really?
But yeah. My you know, the boss in the office, he says that. He says I'm not really superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
Yeah.
But I'm not, man. I'm really not. I think a lot of that stuff is silly. I just don't, man. My mom was like that. Growing up as a kid, you know, she would always tell me all those superstitions, right? And like I said, Steph is big time into that. I'm really not, man.
You can't step on cracks on the pavement,
Yeah.
man. You gotta avoid it.
Yeah.
Opening the umbrella inside, you know, shattering.
Yeah, open an umbrella. Yeah, mirror, black cats.
Wow, the umbrella indoors. I forgot
umbrella
about that
indoors.
one.
That's one.
Remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
salt? Remember the salt? You pour a little bit of salt.
Yeah. Throw it over your shoulders. Yeah. Grandma has all them. Abuelita has all those superstitions, man. And hey, somebody in the chat said it's Taylor Swift's birthday.
It is.
Oh, very nice.
I was gonna say I didn't know Steph was superstitious, man. Next time
She is.
we're all together and we're walking, I'm gonna
She
see
is.
she walks over the cracks. She doesn't step on them. You know?
She's very superstitious. You know, like don't break the pole if you're holding hands and you're walking and all this kind of stuff. And I'm kind of just like, yeah, I don't buy into that. But you know, I get it.
Hey, except when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs, of course. Hey,
well, I mean, you know,
in New Jersey, and you know,
you got to wear the lucky gear and you know all that. Yeah.
Well, no, as a sports fan, do you ever do that thing where if the team is doing well and you're sitting in a certain position on the couch,
Stay there and don't
that
move.
part? Dude, I've had it. I've been watching Spurs games before where they do well and I'm standing up in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to go to the couch or refuse to go to the bedroom. I stand in the kitchen until the game is over.
Yeah. I mean, I'll stand like at the end of the game, like if it's a close game. And even if I'm at home, I stand like if I'm at the damn arena, right? But I feel like standing does give them a little bit more like juice or something.
I feel like you can feel the vibes.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to be talking about the Spurs in a little bit because they're back in action. They had like 4 or 5 days off, taking on the Portland Trailblazers on the road. Spurs 12-12, 3.5-point favorites tonight. We'll get into that. But we're talking about vibes, right? So here's the thing. We were talking before the show started, Joe and Fernandez, about music, right? We are all fathers here. We have daughters. You have sons, Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
I have daughters. Joe has a daughter as well. And part of being a dad is introducing your kids to music, right? So last night on Twitter, I posted the fact that I hadn't heard a certain 311 song, Amber, in a long time, dude. It's such a great song. And I'm driving all the way to Conroe to go be with my girlfriend, Francesca, and I'm just driving all the way over here. It's 3.5 hours of listening to music, right? And I put on Spotify, and I have it on this mix. And Amber came on, and I hadn't heard that song in so long. I listened to it 6 times in a row, just reliving it. Then I went down and listening to Down and all those other songs from 311. And I called my daughter and I sent her the link while driving. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm driving. I'm going to copy link, send to my daughter. I said, listen to this song and call me right back. And she calls me back and she's like, Dad, that's a pretty good vibe. She goes, that's a Caribbean vibe. That's on the beach drinking a cocktail type of vibe. And I said, go back and listen to other songs. And it made me proud because that's a connection I have with my daughter, my oldest daughter anyway, when it comes to like music, you know. And Fernandez, you were telling me that your sons have a connection with you when it comes to music too.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a cool topic that you wanted to bring up. Again, as most know or don't know, I mean, I was a very young father. So my oldest son and I are 14 years apart. And then my middle son, we're 17 years apart. So anyway, they grew up with me, right? And I grew up, you know, with them. So, you know, you're talking early 2000s, right? My son was born in 97. And then my other son was born in 2000. So, you know, in that era, right, you know, you have certain genres. And like, I know like back then, I mean, I would listen to everything, right? I would listen to country. I would listen to, you know, SPM and all that kind of stuff, all the gangster rap. And of course, the West Coast rap, right? The Snoop and the Dre and all that. But I would also listen to stuff like Blink 182. I can't remember who sings it, but that I'm a teenage dirtbag. You remember that song? Yeah, right. Songs like that, right? So it's funny because now my sons will say, you know what, Dad? When I hear those songs, like it reminds me of just being little, and like I don't even remember how young I was or what, but like those songs were playing in the background, right? So, you know, I agree that as parents, we have a responsibility to introduce our kids to good music. You know what I mean? Good music, you know, good music, man. Old school stuff, right? When they talked about love, you know, and when they talked about real things, right? So I definitely know that Joe and Mike, you know, you guys, you know, introduce your daughters to that stuff, which is pretty cool. And even like Steph's daughters, we'll like introduce them to music, stuff like that. So I get the girl vibe stuff too. But I think it's cool because I think it's like a soundtrack to your life. You know what I mean? And even not only the introducing, but like again it's just on in the background, and it kind of becomes a core memory for your kids, right? The music that you listen to, right? A lot of things that you do are core memories for your kids that we don't even realize, right? But one of the biggest things is music because you hear it all the time. They'll go somewhere to a party or something, and someone will be like, "Oh, let's put this old let's get a throwback," and they put it on, and they remember the times they had with their fathers and you know and their mothers, of course. But I think that's really cool.
Well, 90s R&B is kind of where it's at. When you go back and I mean, even if it's from anything from like Jodeci to Shy, Boys to Men, you know,
no color me bad, bro. Just no color me bad.
There was nothing wrong with Color Me Bad.
Oh
dude.
my God, did they have like one good? What did they have?
One good song? No.
What was it?
They had 7 top 10 hits.
You know what, man? I think I saw them like at
SeaWorld.
I saw them at SeaWorld, bro. Like in like 89 or 90 or something, bro. I legit remember seeing them at SeaWorld. I remember the Mi Amor song. And but yeah, man. Oh, Keith Sweat. Yeah, somebody in the Hi Man in the chat is saying Keith Sweat. Real time. Oh, Twisted, bro. And all those songs.
Nobody,
bro. Nobody. Twisted.
My favorite song from Keith Sweat is from the New Jack City soundtrack. There You Go, Telling Me No Again.
Yep. Oh,
then you go back and you introduce your kids to Babyface. You introduce your kids to Deal.
They had some bangers.
Hey, man, I had that. You know, nowadays it's so easy because you could just throw on a playlist, bro. I had a cassette, dog, that I made just for baby making, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I brought it with me because you never know. You know what I'm saying? So
was there one song? Ain't nothing wrong with the little bump and grind.
Now some of due to circumstances, some of these songs are you know
No one's gonna tell me not to listen to R. Kelly.
I'm not saying not to listen. I'm just saying they didn't age well looking back, or it's just kind of ironic and funny. I'm not like that either. I'm not gonna stop. Listen, if you stop listening to anyone that's done anything bad or wrong or is a bad person, you're gonna be you know I don't maybe just Taylor Swift you can listen to. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Jackson, you better stop listening to Elvis, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis, right? You want to go back, you have to stop listening to all those people. So yeah, it's funny to me when people are like, oh, I'm not gonna listen to R. Kelly. Listen, you put on that
12 play.
Yeah. 12 play. That other, I'm not trying to be cool. All that, bro. I'm gonna be bumping, bro. I'm gonna be jamming. So,
Look at
their
Midtown.
personal,
Midtown
their
Texas,
personal life is their
Midtown
personal
Texas
life, bro.
on our YouTube
Yeah.
stream coming out with saying Snow Informer had me rapping Jamaican.
Oh, bro, I have never heard some shit like that before. I've
Blicky
never
boom
heard
boom
some shit like
down.
that. Yeah. You know what? The other day,
No,
actually,
bro.
it's funny. Not too long ago, I looked up the lyrics because I never knew what the hell he was saying,
It's
man.
just gibberish.
But I was going along with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I love it.
So let me ask you this real fast before we get into the Spurs. 311, right? What a great
Yeah.
band that was back in the day. And I was trying to explain to my girlfriend that San Antonio is a rock and roll town. Like if you look at all the different genres of music, San Antonio is known as a rock city. Am I wrong about that? Because I know that there's heavily influenced by, obviously there's hip hop, there's rap, there's
Country.
pop and all that stuff. Country music is big. But
Mhm.
San Antonio, if I were to say San Antonio for music is known for this. This is the most popular. Is it Tejano? Is it country? Is it rock? Is it hip hop? I would say that San Antonio is kind of a classic rock / rock city. Am I wrong?
Yeah, just look at Brandy's Ballroom, man. They had a lot of great acts come through San Antonio back in the day, dude. For real.
Yeah, no,
man.
I think I don't think you're off, Mike. Honestly, because I know a lot of my old tios and like older generation. Even
Yeah.
though they love their Tejano and all that, they always cut for rock. And actually, it's funny you say that because now you're bringing back core memories for me. I remember growing up as a young kid thinking like, I'm surprised that my tios like this kind of rock, But
Yeah.
they're old school. They're old school San Antonians. You know what I mean? So
And that's
San
why
Antonio-
that's why
Yeah.
Metallica comes to San Antonio so often. Metallica
Yeah.
comes to San Antonio all the time. You have all these bands that perform at the Alamo Dome, and it's weird because we don't get the good hip hop stuff, right? It goes to Houston, it goes to Austin, right? But when it comes to the big rock bands, they skip Austin to come to San Antonio. They do that for a reason. It's because San Antonio is a classic rock type
I
of
think you're onto
place.
something, man. I think
Yeah.
you're onto something. I hadn't really thought about that in a while, but
It is.
that makes a lot of sense.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll get Bad Bunny and Shakira. We'll get that.
Well, yeah.
Very
I don't
nice.
mess with that, man. But
Can't
look
miss
at
out on
you know
Bad
what
Bunny.
it says, nah, SA is at Tejano City. Hey, no lies.
Big Tejano City. Big
Tejano
Tejano City.
Tejano died in 95, man. March of 1995 he died.
Is there new Tejano? Is there? No, I'm not trying to make a joke. I
It
like old
died
Tejano.
with
I like 90s
Selena.
Tejano. Yeah, I like
You know
I like
what?
old school 90s Tejano. Is there new Tejano? Like
I think
I'm
we do
asking.
still make
like-
new Tejano, but you know
Yeah,
what? I
yeah.
wonder if Mike's girl, Francesca, does she like Tejano music? Because Mike says
Why do you
it's
call her
classic.
Francesca?
Good, I like it. I don't want to call her Francesca. I want to call her.
So you can pronounce it correctly. You just proved that you can pronounce it
Yeah, I'm
correctly.
calling her Francesca.
he likes the way that flows
bro.
better. He likes that flow better.
Yeah, I like that so good. And I bet you. I wonder if she likes Tejano music because
Does she like the Hana music?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so, man. Anything to dance. Anything to dance.
Hey, there was a lot of funny things on the chat where people were saying that teenage pregnancy is down because they don't make music like that anymore. That might be true. You know what? I might.
You know what?
I might have been a teenage father because of the damn music, bro. That could be a truth, bro.
Dude, let me think about that. Teenage pregnancy's down because there's no more Jodeci's.
Right. There has to be a correlation there.
Because there's no more Boys to Men's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
No one's getting knocked up to Kendrick Lamar, is what you're saying.
Nah,
Right.
man.
Yeah. They not like
I mean,
us.
maybe Drake, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. Alejandro Morales says, "Hey Mike, we're still waiting for your skincare routine. You said you're
Oh,
5.
yeah, I'll do my skincare routine next week, dude. I'll do it all for you.
Oh,
We'll
my
do it
God.
all on the show. All right. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Fernandez. That's Joe Garcia. We're going to be doing sports, pop culture, nostalgia. You guys mentioned it's Taylor Swift's birthday. She's 35.
That's
Everyone
wild
thinks
to
she's
me.
18. She's
You know what?
35.
You know what? I did see that, and I said to myself, I imagine her like 27, 28.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't think in my head her being 35. Like she's not
Right.
that much younger than us. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
And that shows
still
how
picture
old
her
we're
younger.
getting, by the way.
Well, facts, big facts. Yeah.
Now, she did post the other day on social media that she's willing to be Selena Gomez's flower girl because Selena Gomez announced this week that she's engaged
Mhm.
to Benny Blanco. Benny Blanco gets a lot of grief, man, because he's not a very good looking dude, but he got Selena Gomez, right?
Hey, you got
and everyone says,
hey man,
everyone says Benny Blanco is like the nicest guy in the world, but dude, that guy has produced. Okay, so we go through like the years of who has been the hot producer, right? So back in the day, it was like Babyface for a good while there, had a good 5 or 6 year run. You've had Timbaland, you've had Pharrell, you've had certain people who are like the hot producer of the moment, right? You can say that Benny Blanco has been the last 7 or 8 years, just all the songs that he's done. So Benny Blanco's no scrub.
Yeah,
and then he even had a song of his own, Eastside, with Khalid and Halsey. The guy is super talented. Congratulations.
Halsey's amazing, by the way.
She is.
Yeah, Halsey's awesome. I mean, hey, man, listen, again, man, you know, women, and again, I'm generalizing, but I'm just gonna say this: women aren't as shallow as we are. You know what I mean? I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Like, women aren't as like they will, will be with a guy that might not be as good looking, but you know, he has a funny, good character. They're a lot deeper than we are. We are like, is she hot? Hell yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's where it starts. We're you know what I mean? We're shallow creatures, man. Women are a lot more. Women can kind of see past your flaws and all your bullshit. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
And kind of like work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like let me work with this guy, right?
Hey,
so
no
like, again, a guy like that, man, talented. Might not be the best looking, but you know what I mean? You know, I'm sure he's smart, brings a lot to the table. I'm just saying, like, women will look a little further than we will when it comes to like, hey, is she hot? That's what I'm looking for, right?
A little bit more than skin deep. Now, Hyman asked
yeah.
What's the age gap between Travis Kelce and
there you go
and Taylor Swift? And I'm looking it up right now. The age difference is 2 months. They're both 35.
Wow,
they're both 35.
You would think that she's way younger, man. Like it's funny. That's insane.
He reeled in the billionaire. He reeled in the billionaire. What are you gonna do,
bro? I mean, yeah, that's good on him, man. You know what I'm saying? Good on him.
You know what? Me and Fernandez, man, we're gonna admit, dude, we're a handful of times, but we want to go with the lady. We want to date a lady. Oh, yeah. You know what the prerequisites are? Send me your measurements. Let me see that first.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm sure Mike is. I mean, we all could be a handful. I guarantee you, everybody in this chat is a handful. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are difficult to deal with. Sometimes we're unapologetic. Hey, this is who I am, and all that. We got to change our ways and got to do things better. Trust me, I know, because I'm in that same boat. But like I said, thank God that women are a lot more forgiving and look a lot more deeper than we do. We're shallow, man. We're out as soon as something ain't it. Nah. So God bless them, man. Shit.
and thankfully they let go. They allow us to have a panza from time to time. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, dude, that's another thing. That's another thing, bro. They're not as shallow as we are. Like dad bods. They're into that. They're into all that. Like if they were as shallow as we are, like it'd be insane. You don't have to have the washboard abs. And if you do, God, good on you, man. Good on you for having that. But I'm not eating clean and not drinking and not doing all that to have them washboard abs when I can have a little dad bod and still get the lady. You know what I mean? So what are we doing here?
Hey, I saw this comedian the other day. She said, if he has a 6-pack and he's 40, he owns no property.
Oh, you know what I was going to say, man?
I like that, actually. I like that.
You know what you get Fernandez next, Mike? Introduce some Lululemon, dude.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Lululemon. I got some
hey,
Lululemon.
Wait! Breaking news. Do we have a breaking news traffic here?
I got some Lululemon sweatpants. Though I know Lululemon, man.
Okay. So I'm not feeling Fernandez. You may want to walk that back, dude. Okay, because they've been giving me grief all week long about Lululemon. You are admitting to us right now that you have Lululemon clothes.
Yeah, bro. First of all, that stuff is not cheap. Okay, that stuff is not cheap. So most people probably bag on Lululemon because it's too expensive for them. I'm just saying it ain't cheap, bro. So two, no, man. I got the sweatpants. I mean, they're comfortable. Yeah. I mean, listen, bro. I got it. I know Lululemon is a more known as a women's brand.
We're
They
giving
got some comfortable.
Mike shit all week, right? Because of Lululemon. Then he came in, he goes, "This is my Lululemon shirt." I said, "Let me see." He goes, "Feel it." I said, "Hey, bro, it feels kind of nice, man."
Hey, bro, yeah, that material. I'm telling you, bro, that material ain't no joke, bro. That material ain't no joke. I got some black sweatpants from Lululemon, and they're amazing, bro. They're amazing. So yeah, now don't. You know what? I'm one of the first torch bearers when it comes to Cookie Mike. I'm really am, but I'm with him on this one.
Hey, you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
Sam Salinas reaches out to us on our chat powered by MCS General Contracting saying, "Nah, Mike, Rick doesn't have to prove his manhood to anyone. Our boy's a Marine. He can rock a little Lemon if he wants."
Hey, you know what? And that's what I love about it, man. Like I get to a point where I don't go, man, my manhood is undefeated, bro. I don't gotta prove it to nobody, bro. I'm a Marine. I've been to combat. I've done all this and that. Thank you for your freedom. If I want to wear Lululemon, I'm gonna rock my Lululemon, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny?
That's not even. Thank you for reminding us that you are a war veteran and you rock Lululemon.
There you go.
You know what, man? One of my uncle's friends, he's a Marine, dude. My uncle's a Marine, retired Marine. He was around a bunch of bad dudes. You know, all Marines saw a lot of action and everything. Yeah. And this one guy, man, he was like, he saw a lot of action, dude. He's a badass, and he would not drink beer, bro. He could not get his brother to drink beer. You know what he liked? And nobody told him a damn thing. He liked wine coolers, bro.
Oh wow!
Each his own.
Yeah,
but nobody has the balls to go up there.
You gotta own it, bro. You gotta own it, man. That's the thing. I mean, I get crap about mimosas or people. Everyone's gonna give you crap about something, but like I said, at the end of the day, bro, hey, man, we don't gotta prove our manhood to nobody, dog.
Hey, I respect that of you, Rick. Man, I respect that. How often do you drink mimosas? How is that, like a daily thing?
I mean, I got my morning. You know, I got my morning, not daily, but I do got my morning thing going. I'll be honest, man. Steph turned me on. Steph turned me on to champagne because she's a connoisseur of all that stuff. So when I got with Steph, I started doing the mimosas, the champagne, and all that. And I like it, man. I like the flavor, bro. You know, lately, to be honest, man, like I just haven't been feeling beer like at the house, like canned beer, like out somewhere in a draft. Yeah, I'm down for beer, but recently, like I bought like a case of Modelo, and I was kind of like watching a fight or something, having a beer in a can. And I was like, I'm not really feeling this, man. So like, you know, it might be that time of the year of more flavor, man. So, you know, I got me a bottle of Gentleman Jack, kind of doing that again. And then the mimosas, man, like I said, the flavor is good. The champagne high is a little different. You know what I mean? So I like it. You know,
I want to end the show talking more about alcohol. We'll do that towards the end of the show. Real fast, Mario Cavazos on our chat, powered by MCS General Contracting, says, Chale, Lululemon is for those Stone Oak Mexicans. And Tim Gonzalez out saying, Fernandez got poodle game.
Hey, you got to remember, man, I'm in San Diego. You know what I'm saying? And like, but it's a good life, man. It's a good life. Mario Cavazos is. Hey, we'll talk about.
He's old one.
I get pedicures.
Hey, I get pedicures too.
I know. Mario Cavazos says Fernandez will be with Mike getting pedicures together.
Can you imagine, Rick? Can you imagine when you come to town?
Let's do it.
You and I get together for. Dude, that would be one hell of a photo shoot, man.
That could be a podcast right there. You all get
it. Could be a pedicure podcast. Pedicure podcast, baby. Yeah.
Okay,
listen. I don't pedicures, man. I'm on pedicures, bro. Like, listen, bro. It's a nice massage. It's a nice thing. I go at least once a month, once every 3 weeks, bro, if I can. Shit, there was a time where I was going like every other week. But. Man, there ain't nothing wrong with no pedicures, bro. I know people cook Mike about pedicures. Now, you might not want to post your feet on social media. Nobody wants to see that.
No, man, because I had the orange slices on my legs and
post your legs and everything, bro. But nobody wants to see our ugly feet, bro.
I'll
give you that, bro.
I'll
give you that. Nobody wants to see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everybody was making fun of Mike's fungal nail. They said that was an orange slice. That was a yellow nail.
I love where this is going. This is a great podcast today because we are talking about things that we're getting stuff off the chest. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're saying, you know what? We're saying things that other people may not want to say. They believe it, but they don't want to say it. You know.
Chris Gonzalez, even with the
Puro
good
pedicures.
That's gonna be the name of the
Exactly.
podcast. Puro and
Yeah.
pedicure.
Puro pedicure. I like that shit. I like that. They got a super chat by Jason Garcia.
Yeah.
199. Yeah. Who you got, Navy or Army? Hey, so Navy Army week. This is a big week. For Navy Army, I go Navy because so I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like the Naval Academy, there's Marines and Navy, right? Because the Marines are a department of the Navy. So the Marines don't have their own academy, right? So the Naval Academy, a lot of those graduates either go Marine or go Navy. So basically, you know, a lot of those midshipmen are Marine options, right? So a lot of my buddies and the Marine officers are Naval Academy grads, and those guys are another beast, man. They're another they're another breed, man. I'll tell you that. So I definitely say go Navy. You know what I'm saying? An Army Navy game this weekend.
Now, how great is it, man? To have them. How great is it to have them both be good teams this year? Because sometimes you have that Army Navy game where it's like a 3-8 team against a 3-8 team. But you have an 8-3 a Navy team against an 11-1 22nd ranked Army team.
Yeah,
Army favored by 2.5 points, 6.5 points rather.
Army's tough, man. Army's tough. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's great when they're both doing well.
Very nice. Well, let's talk about the Spurs, man. Back in action tonight. It's been a while, man.
Bro,
it's been a while.
Too long.
I mean, not to quote Stained, but it's been a while since we've seen our old team play basketball.
Not to quote that whore from the Titanic, but it's been 84 years.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Thank you for calling her that.
I got my own thoughts on her, and she's the villain, man.
Rose in Titanic is bad.
Rose is one of the underrated villains in cinema. She really is, man. She really is.
And that old boy go, man.
There was room on the big door. You know, she throws. You know, her granddaughter is probably struggling to help her, and she got like what a $100 billion necklace, and she just tosses it. You know what I mean? And then the coup de grace is her version of heaven at the end. Is not her like husband that she spent 30, 40, 50, whatever years with, not her grandkids, not any of those other people in her life. It's Jack that she knew for what, a week, and all those other douchebags from the Titanic. That's her version of heaven when she dies. That's
all right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, Fernandez. Who's the worst character? Is it Rose? Okay, two categories here. Is it going to be Rose, young Rose? Old Rose or Jenny from Forrest Gump?
Oh man, Jenny's another one, man. Jenny's, oh my god.
Hey man, Forrest Gump like them crazy girls, bro.
Bro, this bitch does not come back, you know, until she's dying or having a kid, you know, blah blah blah. And like poor Forrest, man, like the dude is like the definition of a simp. You know what I mean? The dude loves her. The dude is just like after her. After she comes back with all that baggage, he takes her back. I mean, obviously he's just such a good person. He's such a great guy, you know. But Jenny's horrible, man. Jenny's fucking horrible.
Who is worse?
That's a good one. Ooh,
Pam or Sissy?
Oh man,
Sissy. No,
yeah.
She was damaged good, bro. I would have stayed with Pam in a heartbeat, man. She made you a better man. She had vision. She had her own money. Yeah. Give me Pam all day,
man. These are tough. Nice. These are good questions, though. These are good questions.
Hey, I want to say thank you to your service, not only to Fernandez, but also to Harry Austin over here, saying that he is a member of the United States Navy. He served there.
Absolutely.
Very, very nice.
Yep.
So who we got tonight between the Spurs and the Trailblazers? Spurs 3.5-point favorites. It's been a while since they've played. Spurs are back at 500 at 12-12. We brought up the question about expectations earlier in the week because there were no expectations of this team coming in. We just hoped that they would get better, improve from a 22-60 season back-to-back years. The expectation, according to Vegas, was 34, 35 wins. I was at 30. Joe was around 35, 36.
38.
38. Hate to say it, when Pop went down, my expectations went up a little bit. So I went from 30 to about 35. But that being said, Is it weird having expectations of this team? Because here's what's going on, Fernandez. The Spurs have some very winnable games over the course of the next 2 weeks, leading into that Christmas game over at MSG, Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. Can you imagine if the Spurs are 5 games over 500 going into a Christmas morning game? Because I think they can be. These are winnable games. You got 2 games against Portland. You got a game against Atlanta. You could win these games, even if some of these are on the road. You could win them, and it all starts tonight.
I agree, man. Hanover Fist says, I wish the Spurs would have made the Vegas Cup. Trust me, so do I, because I was already going to be there. I was looking at rooms. I was like ready to go to Vegas if they would have made the Cup. But no, I agree with you, man. I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm not trying to be a homer or anything, but they are very winnable games. Like I feel like they're coming into like an easier, quote unquote, part of their schedule. It's going to ramp up later, but they could win these games, and they need to. And that's the thing. They got to win the games that they're supposed to win. You know what I mean? Like you got to, man. You have to. If you got to win, like again, man. I people called me, a homer and a too positive. What I would get upset about is losing games you're supposed to win. That's what would irritate me. You know what I mean? But there's only a handful of teams that supposedly are better than, or that the Spurs are better than, right? Going into the season. So there ain't too many that they're supposed to win, quote unquote. And then you steal a couple. You know what I mean? You steal a couple here and there. So I think they can go on a little bit of a run. I think it's been a while since they played. I'm bummed that Castle ain't playing tonight, right? He's still kind of dealing with a shoulder injury. I don't think it's like horrible, but he's listed as out, if I'm not mistaken, Castle tonight. And Keldon is out, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's some winnable games here, and there's a time for them to go on a little bit of a run. Like you said, going into Christmas.
Yeah, so here the Spurs have a 9 o'clock tip-off tonight against the Trailblazers. Blazers, one of the worst teams in the entire NBA. Then the Spurs have a home game Sunday afternoon against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then we host the Hawks. We host the Blazers. Then we go on the road to take on a beat-up 76ers team. And then 11 a.m. on Christmas morning against the New York Knicks. I mean, that's going to be a big thing. I was unaware of Stephon Castle being out, but according to the Spurs report right now, Castle's out with a left shoulder injury, a contusion. Zach Collins is out. Keldon Johnson is also out. Trey Jones is out. Joe, that's four players out of a 12-man roster. We're running 8 deep tonight.
Yeah, man, this one is a game that, to me, it feels like a trap game. I don't know if the Spurs will be able to win this game, man. With some of the players that you just named that are out right now, it's going to be a tough sell for the Spurs. I think they're going to have a hard battle against the Trailblazers, because the Trailblazers, no matter who's there out there on the court, they've played the Spurs pretty tough. They've had some good back and forth here. So the Spurs going to have to come out of the gate firing. If they fall behind early and try to catch up, and they're just not feeling it, they're just not hitting their shots. That's all she wrote, man.
It could happen. Says sounds like a loss. Low key tank again. Fernandez. Not only Castle out, Zach Collins is out. Keldon and Trey Jones.
Yeah, I saw that. Castle being out kind of jumped at me, man, because man, he's just been playing out of this world. He's been thriving. He's been growing right in front of our eyes, man, and I love it. A lot of us have saw that. A lot of us kind of were hoping for that. But health is so important. We know that, man. I know it sucks. I know people, it's in Portland, but I was going to, people pay their money to go see these games, and it sucks when the player that you love ain't playing and all that. But like, health is super important. I feel like every other day we see a pretty big name going down. There's a lot of injury bug getting hit across the NBA. So health is extremely important. But yeah, you got Chauncey Bill. You got Chauncey over there, right? I mean, the dude's a warrior. He'd love to beat the Spurs. He'd love to be able to, get that Portland team back on track. But I think the Spurs eke it out. I think it's closer than we want it to be. But I think they get it.
Now, Chris Gonzalez, which is out and says Sohan goes for 40. Mexican Jr. coming out and saying that it's a net positive having Zach Collins out, which I might agree with.
That's funny.
What's the starting lineup tonight then? Because obviously it's going to be CP3.
Maybe
it's going to be Barnes.
In.
It's going to be Wemby. Do we just put Devin in there? Start Champagny and Sohan's a 6-man?
Think so, man.
I think so. I think Devin gets back in.
Guess who we see a lot of? We're gonna see a lot of Bassey tonight, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that might be the positive thing. No Zach Collins, more Bassey. I'll take it.
Bassey, man, he's so athletic, man. He does so many things, and they're games that he doesn't, light up the scoreboard, and I get all that, but he's just athletic. He hustles. He does what you need. He's not just sitting around. You know what I mean? That's the thing. He's not there with his hands in his pockets. Like he's out there, doing his thing. So I love Bassey out there, man. It's a lot of energy. But I really think that they can go on a little bit of run, like Mike said, and then come Christmas Day, we'll see what their record is. And man, I'm glad they're back on Christmas. I'm glad they're back on Christmas. I'll tell you what, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I looked up tickets. I looked up flights and tickets, man, and I was like, that would be so New York, baby. Oh my God, New York, man. And New York during Christmas time is so amazing, man. Central Park, Rockefeller Center. I went to New York a couple of years ago, in between Christmas and New Year's, like that in between time, and it was so amazing. I love New York, man. I got to get back out there, but I looked at tickets, but they were ridiculous. You know what I mean? They were ridiculous.
Can I tell them a story that you reached out to me a couple of days ago, and you were like, "Cool, tickets to Paris are still cheap."
Bro, I'm telling you, I was at, I looked up tickets, man, and they were like $600, which that ain't bad at all. I paid $300-400 to fly from Cali to Texas, so $600 to Paris is nothing, man. Honestly, I know, man. I'm the same. I'm like. From one day to the next, man. Like the day I text you, I was like ready, dude. I was like,
add to cart. Add to cart.
Yeah. Like that. That's how close I was. That's why I don't text you much about stuff like that, but I did. I was like, hey, bro, I am like literally like looking at this,
Fernandez, you're completely. So I'm laughing right now because 3 things that you've done today. Yeah. You've justified my Lululemon purchases.
Yeah. Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th, man.
It's Friday the 13th.
I told you, crazy things happen on Friday the 13th.
You've justified that. You justified pedicures. You say you'd go have one with me.
Yeah.
And you're also admitting to the fact that you text me.
Yeah. I did. It was a late.
Which means you're admitting that we're friends.
It was a late night text too. I was like, you know what, man? It was like, I was like, you know what? I gotta text this guy because I got my cart ready. Like, I don't know, man. So, hey, man, I told you, crazy things happen on Friday the 13th.
So Cap 210 is asking the question, who's out tonight? Again, it's Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, Zach Collins, all out today. Spurs going shorthanded, but again, they've done well. Also out is Trey Jones as well. So out 4 players. So the Spurs are going to run 8 or 9 deep tonight. Maybe bring up somebody, maybe City or somebody from Austin will make the trip.
You know what? I would love to see Riley Minix, man, come out. I would love to see Riley Minix come out of Austin, man. I would love. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, man. He's been out of control in Austin. I mean, all of them. Malachi Flynn, City, obviously when he plays down there. But
Malachi had a great game a couple days ago.
Yeah. Riley Minix is a stretch 4 shooter, man. The dude has like a little Bonner in him. I'm telling you, man. I think he would give him some chance, man. I would love Riley Minix to have a chance.
Hey, Joe.
Guess
what? Guess what?
What?
The Niners season's over.
Finally.
The San Francisco 49ers, their season. Stick a fork in them. They're done. They lost last night on Thursday Night Football. Didn't even score a touchdown in the game.
Man. And you know how far they have fallen, man. How far they have fallen.
You know what I say to that too, Mike? That their season is over? Good. Yeah. Hey, I never forget that. Never forget that, man. Brett Favre had Alzheimer's or whatever the hell he had. Good. Damn, Mike.
Tim Gonzalez asked if I caught any of the UIW and Duke. I didn't actually, but I think it's great for a program like Incarnate Word to be playing a program like Duke. I mean, all they can do is put them on the map. I mean, I get it. They lost and all that, but like, hey, man, playing programs like Duke when you're Incarnate Word, hey, that's a win. That's a win in of itself.
They held Cooper Flagg to single-digit points.
Yeah.
And it's funny that.
Go ahead.
Some of these players, it's funny because when we saw Wemby play back in the day when he was in France, he jumped off the screen. We knew that he was going to be a star.
Yeah.
I watched Cooper Flagg play, and even the games where he's doing really well, he doesn't stick out, man. I don't know. I'm not saying he's a scrub. He's going to probably be a good NBA player.
Yeah.
But I don't see superstar yet. And he's only 17.
Yeah.
But I don't see superstar yet.
Yeah, we got to remember, man. I remember when Isaiah Collier was like, he's the number one pick. He's going to be it. Yeah, everyone said that, right? Kid out of USC, and I hear the names, and like I said, Cooper Flagg just sounds like a name. Like, okay, I like this, right? And I agree with Mike. Like, man, it is Friday the 13th because I'm agreeing with Mike today. For this is crazy. I like the kid. I think the kid. Like you said, 17. Like, holy crap! At 17, we're putting these expectations on him. But you're right. He doesn't jump out. He doesn't jump out as like, oh my God, this guy. He might just be a good player, right, or whatever. But he doesn't jump out as this like world beater, all-star, can't miss. Like I said, Isaiah Collier for a while was considered the number one pick in the draft, and then he kind of fell off. So we don't know. All I gotta say is we don't know, man. When it comes to these things, and I know people hate hearing that, but it's just people are quick to like jump on something that's trendy or like, oh, well, that's what they're saying on ESPN or that's what Stephen A. Smith said, whatever. But I agree, man. Cooper Flagg, he looks like the goods. He's a talented player, but he doesn't jump out as like head and shoulders above all the other college players. Real quick, Caps 210 says Fernandez making me want to drink. Hey, I hear you, bro. Pop it, baby. Pop it.
If you want to watch a college basketball player that jumps off the screen, Dylan Harper of Rutgers. Point guard, shooting guard, combo guard, 6'6", 19 years old, averaging 23 points per game. That guy screams superstar right there.
Yeah, and in a program like Rutgers that's like not going to be your high profile and all that, you got to be a bad dude to scream out of the screen. You know what I'm saying? I think, because again, some of this stuff is manufactured. Oh, you play with Duke, you play with Kentucky, you whatever. It's just like the big market bias, right? LA, New York. Right. There's a lot of things that go to it. It's not just as simple. I wish it was that simple. Hey, the best players are the best players, but there's a lot of biases and there's a lot of things that go to it. So when you come out of a school like Rutgers, or whatever, it's like, wow, you're not Duke, you're not Kentucky, so you got to be a bad motherfucker. Is my point I'm trying to make.
Tim Gonzalez, who's a Duke fan. So we have Matt Lerma, our pop apologist. We have Tim Gonzalez, who's our Duke apologist. Saying Flagg is
Tim Gonzalez loves him some Duke. Tim Gonzalez loves him some Duke. I'll tell you. Listen, ladies, if you want to find a man that loves you as much as Tim Gonzalez loves Duke, that's what I will say. And I respect him for it because he loves some Duke. That is a point. That's a good point. He would be a senior in high school. That's why I'm saying it's hard to put these pressures on them, but they're there. You know what I mean? They're there. So you got to. It's kind of like the same thing. Like Wemby, he's 20 years old. Technically, he should be in college, but he's where he's at. So you put those expectations and pressure on them. So I get it,
Chris saying that Cooper Flagg is not a typical Duke-hating white player. Mario Cavazos reaches out and says, Fernandez and Mike just became best friends in front of our eyes. What a blessing.
Tim Gonzalez says, it's scary Fernandez is agreeing with Mike. I told you, man. Friday the 13th brings out maybe I am superstitious. Maybe Friday the 13th brings out some scary stuff,
Let's give some love to our good friend Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5, because if you need that daily kit, Joe, what was it from the movie The Town? You just need a taste. You just need a taste. The taste of that heroin. If you need that heroin of sports content when it comes to your silver and black Spurs, go to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And there you
Fantastic, man. Spotify, you go to YouTube, 5,600 subscribers, badass. And if you go onto his page at Jeff G Spurs Zone, you'll see that there was a Southside business that had Spurs art stolen, which you can do to help out. It was Till Midnight Urgent Care is asking for help locating stolen Spurs artwork. Also, Jeff has an article where he interviewed Chris Paul about CP3 being with the Spurs and his efficiency as the point guard of the team.
And you gotta be low level to be stealing artwork from the Spurs, but
as I'm in the midst of applying for residency.
Here it comes. This is me and Fernandez today.
Yep, this is gonna be all now.
If you were a chick, who's the one guy you would sleep with? John Stamos.
John Stamos.
Uncle Jesse. Uncle Jesse. Are we talking about Uncle Jesse?
Oh God, man. There you all go. That's y'all right now. Did we just become best friends?
I love it, man. Hey. Friday 13th.
Very, 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 very cool. NFL gets going. I mean, it already got going yesterday when it came to the Niners. We talked about how the Niners, their season pretty much came to an end yesterday, eliminated from the playoffs. Cowboys, I think, technically have a chance. I mean, that's like less than a 1% chance. But let's go over some of these games and see which ones intrigue you the most this upcoming week, right? So we saw that Patrick Mahomes yesterday complained about the fact that they're having to play 3 games in 11 days. That is a brutal stretch for any NFL team. And I know, Joe, you're like, shut up, just go play. Yeah, but I mean, you typically played 2 games in 14. They're playing 3 or 2 games in 8, rather. They're playing 3 in 11. You have the Chiefs against the Browns Sunday afternoon. Jameis Winston going to go off for 500 yards and lose that game. Bengals and Titans, not interested. Commanders and Saints, not interested. Ravens and Giants, not interested. Cowboys, Panthers, not interested. This is a bad week of games. Jets and Jaguars, Dolphins and Texans, Colts, Broncos. Oh, here we go. Who you got? 3:30 kickoff. The Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. Bills coming in 10-3. They're 2 games behind the Chiefs for the number 1 spot in the AFC. You got the Lions holding on to the 1 spot, just 1 game above Minnesota in their own division. So think about that. They can be the number 1 team and drop all the way to number 5 if they start losing a couple of games. Who you got?
Man, I love Dan Campbell, man. I love me some Dan Campbell. The guy is he's something else. He's energetic. Lions are there, but it seems like a little bit of a trap, though. Seems like a little bit of a trap, man. I don't know. I think
Bills coming off a loss too.
Yep. I think the Bills find a way to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Fernandez on this one because the Lions, they're getting decimated by injury right now.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is that the Bills, they're going to come in healthy and they're going to be able to do enough to go ahead and beat the Lions. And, I think the Lions are a little overhyped, man. I think they're a good team, but people always think they seem to think that they are actually a lot better than the record says they are. I think they are a good team. Don't get me wrong. You're only good as your record, but I think they're also beatable. Now,
Joe, the way I look at it, though, is the fact that if healthy, they are the best team in the NFC.
If healthy, they're not healthy right now. That's the thing.
You hit the nail on the head, Joe. They're not healthy. They got 7 injuries, backups on the defense side of the ball alone. I think it's cumulatively 9.
That's tough. That's tough to overcome.
And Buffalo coming off a loss. But you know what? A loss might actually be good for the Lions because you can't go on 10, 12, 14 wins in a row to end the regular season.
You might as well get it out now. You know what I mean? Get that stuff out now. Yeah. I agree. It's like that year when the Patriots went undefeated and then they finally lost. You want to get those losses out, man. I know I'm not saying losses are good, but there's some good in like a really good team taking that like humbling, you know what I mean? And then like, okay, now let's get energized, and because you start getting bored, man. You know what I mean? You start getting bored. Like, oh, we got this. And you start reading your own press clippings. You start reading your own hype. And now you think it's like, I'm so good that I don't even have to put effort to win. That's what starts happening. So a loss sometimes can be a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it builds a character.
Yeah.
So the other big game this week, by the way, I'm going to take the Bills in that one as well because Josh Allen is just amazing. It's all the injuries for me. But Joe, I want to get your impression on this one here, Joe, because you and I have been talking crap about the Steelers for so long. I mean, the Steelers right now, somehow, some way, with Russell Wilson turning back the clock, 10-3 on the season. One of those 3 losses to the Cowboys somehow. It's the Battle of Pennsylvania. You've got the Steelers going into Lincoln Financial Field to take on the Eagles. The Eagles who've been hot at 11-2. Joe, who you got between the Steelers and Eagles?
I got the Steelers over the Eagles, 27-23.
Wow.
Money line. I got the money line on both the Bills and the Steelers, man. I'm looking for upsets this week.
Hey, that's not bad, man. That's not bad. Pittsburgh's plus 220 money line. I mean, they're a good team. And it's one of those dude, we got Mike Tomlin, man. Is he just low-key the best coach in football? We just don't respect it.
Hey, man, the brother keeps winning, dude. No matter who he has, what team you put in front of him, he beats them. He's winning. The only team that's been able to best him right now that was kind of disappointing to him were the Cowboys, bro.
Yeah.
But he finds ways to win, dude. He's low-key one of the better coaches out there. And they just extend him too, by the way.
I mean, the guy is a surefire Hall of Famer, right? But you look at their records, Joe. The last time they had a losing record
was Big Ben.
I was 26 years old.
That's probably when they had Roethlisberger, probably in his early years.
Joe, think about that, Joe. They've had a winning record every year since 2003.
Damn. So they've been winning
since
2003.
21 years, bro. 21 years.
That is crazy. Now, they had some 500 years, and they had some 8 and 8s. But they were 6-10 in 2003. And you go back beyond that, they had 3 winning seasons before that. So since 2000, they've had only 1 losing season.
Jeez.
Wow.
And they won a couple of Super Bowls along the way.
Yeah.
Golly, man. Mike Tomlin is just amazing. And we don't give him the credit because we have to live through Mahomes. We have to live through Tom Brady. He didn't have that guy. But he did get his 2 chips, right? But Mike Tomlin's record, I'm looking up his record right now, all time as an NFL head coach. 183-102. 81 games over 500. A 639 winning percentage. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Guy's a winner,
2
man.
Super Bowls. Jeez. That's
you gotta love that guy. You gotta love that guy, man.
So who do you got? Fernandez, Eagles or Steelers?
I'll roll with Steelers.
Yeah, I was going to share this. Man.
I'm going to take the Eagles on that one.
Look at this. Breaking news here, man.
The Miami Dolphins and wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. have agreed for a mutual release on Friday, a source confirmed to ESPN. News first reported by NFL Network. So what big-name, playoff-bound team is going to get OBJ?
Someone's gonna grab him. Is it Jerry? Wait! Somebody wake Jerry up! Somebody get Jerry off of his
medication.
Oxygen. Yeah, his medication, whatever. Right? Wake him up. But no, man, someone's gonna scoop him up. I mean, the guy has a little something left in the tank. I mean, but I don't think it was gonna happen with the Dolphins. You know?
Nah, man.
All right, so we were talking about Bill Belichick yesterday and the fact that he agreed to terms to be the head coach of UNC. Bill Belichick, 72 years old, going to be coaching high schoolers or college players that are 19 to 22 years old, who are just 2 years older than younger than his actual girlfriend. Weird.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts of Belichick going into the college ranks? Do you think it's going to work? Because I don't see it working.
I thought it was wild, to be honest. I remember seeing things about this maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was a joke. Like, I was like, wow, like, okay, Belichick is not going to go to college. I don't know, man. There's so many things point to it not working that I think it's going to work, if that makes sense. I don't know, man. It's wild to me. Hey, man, he figures out a way to get himself a 20-year-old or 30-year-old girlfriend or whatever. So if he could convince her, he could convince these college kids to buy in, you know. I mean, I don't know, man. He's got something going for him. So I think it's wild. Him turning that program, into something would be amazing. But I'm intrigued by it. I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm intrigued by it.
I'm intrigued by it. I'm gonna watch it.
The jury's out. Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I will watch, but the ageism in me comes out. He's 72 years old.
Yeah,
ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Now, if you tried it at 62, it could have worked. But at 72,
but
can't
but
do
it's
it,
also
man.
but
Can't
it's
do it.
also. I mean, I think it's who it is. Like any other 72-year-old, there's no way. Just like any other 72-year-old ain't pulling that young lady that he pulled. So there's something about him, I guess, is what I'm saying. And it goes back to Pop. And I know Jimenez's opinion about Pop, but there's something about certain people. Again, any other person in their 70s, you would laugh at this, but there's certain people. I remember there was a saying like, "Oh, Picasso had kids into his 70s." They're like, "Well, that's Picasso. Like, I'm just a regular guy. You know what I mean? I'm not Picasso. But there's certain people who might be able to pull it off. I guess what I'm saying is, if anyone can, he can. I'm not saying he will. I don't know if he will. Jury's out. But if anyone has a fighting chance, it's Belichick.
Do you know what's funny about Belichick becoming the head coach is that he becomes the oldest head coach in all of college football. 130 programs out there. He's the oldest one. He's replacing Mac Brown, who was the oldest head coach in college football.
Yeah.
So they got younger. They went from a 73-year-old head coach to a 72. Here are the other old coaches. The other old coaches in college football. Iowa's head coach is 69. UMass is 69, and then you go to 65 for Casey Keeler out of Sam Houston. So that means there are only 4 coaches, 65 or older, in the college football ranks. In the NFL, who do you think is the oldest head coach in the NFL?
The NFL.
I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Believe it or not, it's Andy Reid.
Really?
66 years old. John Harbaugh, by the way, who looks pretty young, is 62. And speaking about looking pretty young, Pete Carroll, who was the head coach of Seattle for so long. Do you realize that Pete Carroll's 72 years old?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's wild. That's wild to me.
He's 73. 70. He just turned 73.
That 70 to me, like, is I mean, most 70-year-olds aren't, running around the field wearing a sweater like this, talking, to players. I will say, I remember Mac Brown going to UNC. I thought that was crazy to me. I was just like, wow, obviously Texas legend. We all know Mac Brown, but I don't know, man. I think it's about your approach. Like, if you're a 70-something-year-old head coach to 20-year-olds or 19-year-olds or whatever, it's in theory, it sounds like it won't work, but I think it's more about how you approach it. If he goes in there thinking like, I am in my prime, you got to listen to me, blah, 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 they're going to be like, shut up, old man. You know what I mean? But if he goes in there like grandpa mode, like, I mean, again, man, and I say this a lot in some of our shows, I try to equate this stuff as to in layman's terms, because we're all just regular people. None of us are athletes that can do that. It's like your grandpa. Your grandpa comes to Christmas, and he's old, and he's past his best days and whatever, but he starts telling you stories, or he starts giving you knowledge, and you're like, damn, yeah, okay, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Now, if he came in there like your dad, who was like barking orders at you, you're like, shut your old ass up. You know what I mean? So I think it's a matter of the approach. That's what I think. So I think Belichick, how you approach it is going to be key.
Belichick has been saying that he's going to make it an NFL type program with NFL nutrition, NFL style offense, NFL style defense. And his pitch to the young guys out there who are looking at the transfer portal or who are high school seniors is, I'm going to teach you how to be an NFL player. And this is going to be an NFL pipeline. That's his pitch. There you go.
See, that's smart. That's smart. Because, again, you don't think he still has NFL connections? You know, so
yeah, definitely.
I mean, these players are gonna be like, not that it's like a quid pro quo, but it's kind of like, hey, if Bill Belichick gives me a stamp of approval, then that means the world for my future in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
and
now I'm gonna play for him.
With Pat McAfee as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I like that. Again, that's the approach. What's in it for me, right? There's a book out there that says it starts with a why. I don't know if anybody ever read that book. It says it starts with a why. Basically, it's like, what's the why? Like what is in it for me, right? So if you're an NFL player, or I'm sorry, if you're a college player, your goal is to make the NFL. And as great as a lot of those college players are, a lot of them don't make the NFL. Like they really don't. So if you have a Belichick that's going to give you a little extra edge and he's going to like vouch for you or whatever, that's going to be a motivation. So I don't know, man. I think making it like a college program is great. There's a $9.99 super chat, Joe. If you,
well, real fast before we go to that, the North Carolina team, they're not scrubs. They're 6-6 this year. They were 8-5 the year before that, 9-5 before the year that. Since 2019, 9 games above 500. $9.99 super chat coming on for Patrick Green. He follows me on Twitter at MJ Acquire Taste. Thank you so much for listening live for the first time. Thank you for the $10 tip. We appreciate it. Finally got to watch the show, he says, live today. Keep up the good work. Love the show. And go Spurs, go. Lions winning the Super Bowl.
You know what? I didn't realize it was Patrick Green because I saw the name here, but now that I saw his
photo,
that's my guy. That's my guy on Twitter, man. Follow him if you don't already, man. He's a good dude. He's
great. He goes back and he's part of Spurs Twitter. He goes back and forth with us when it comes to it all.
Yeah,
he tends to agree with me a lot, Fernandez.
I
like him.
Oh man,
I like him.
Oh man, I don't know. I just sang his praises. I might have to go back on that, man. You know.
Hey, you know what? Love us or hate us, man. Sometimes me and Mike, we speak truths, dude. We tell it how it is, man.
Well,
we don't try to go with what's popular, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like truth, you know. I mean, I get that, you know, that truth is a foreign language to a lot of people. So, I mean, I get it.
Jason Garcia.
I don't agree with.
Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I was just gonna say I don't agree with Mike a lot, but when he's right, he's right. I'll just say that.
We'll go over some of my top 3 hits later on in the show. Maybe not. Jason Garcia says, what about the rest of the NFL schedule? I know what he's doing. He's a Seahawks fan. He wants to know Seahawks hosting the Packers. Packers favored by 3.5 on the road. Tell you what, man, that Seahawks team looks good. Zach Charbonnet, just keep feeding him the ball. Why he's been RB2 all year long for the Seahawks, I do not know. He's the most dynamic running back that they have on that team.
Yeah, that Seahawks team has something, man. They have a little something. They're kind of underrated. They're low key, but they got a little something. But that's a good place that you want to be. You know, you want people to underrate you. You want people to not think that you ain't as good as you are, and then you sneak up on folks. So.
Speaking of that, man, look at what we saw here because we're talking about college right there. But real quick, Quinn Ewers is saying, being reported by College Football Report on the X, says Quinn Ewers still intends to declare for the NFL draft after this season. And says Arch Manning is reportedly locked in with Texas, set to be the starting QB next season. Now, that's good news, man, because you saw a little bit of Arch Manning. You get excited, dude.
Oh man, I love me some Arch. I'll tell you, man. That Arch, though, you know what I'm saying? Man, the future looks bright with Arch at the helms. You know, the kid.
You think you're going to win it all?
Has legs. You know what? And I'll admit my bias because I am a University of Texas grad, University of Texas Naval ROTC, Hook'em Horns, class of 2013. I couldn't believe they lost that game to Georgia the other day. They've lost 2 games to Georgia. Third time's got to be the charm, man. The storybook ending would be that they go into the playoffs, march across the bracket, face Georgia the Natty, and finally get their win, man.
You know
that would be the storybook ending, man.
Mike was saying they're going to play him 3 times.
That was my prediction.
They are going to
about
play
2
him 3
weeks
times.
ago.
Yeah, I remember.
2
I heard
weeks
you
ago when
say
Georgia Tech beat wet the bed and lost to Georgia. I said, "Oh my God, Texas is going to lose to them 3 times this year." And then it happened the second time.
Listen, I say just get there and get to the natty against them. And if they lose 3 times, they lose 3 times. I got it. But get there, man. And oh man, it would just be so sweet. It would be like the 13 Spurs losing and then coming back and winning the 14. If
nice.
Longhorns could freaking finally get that 3rd win when it mattered the most.
When it mattered the most.
The
other 2 don't matter at that point.
The other 2 don't matter. If you win the natty, those other 2 don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, do it in Vince Young style, right, Fernandez? Win that championship game in Vince Young style, dude.
05 against Matt Leinart. Man, that was the best.
That was exciting.
USC Rose Bowl was the best. Yeah.
The latest mock drafts have Quinn Ewers going in the 2nd round. So before he got hurt, he was considered to be maybe even a top 10 player. Got hurt. Arch Manning comes in, balls out a bit, shows that he's even more talented in some respects than Quinn Ewers. Ewers is going down the draft chart, and he needs to get out because what would happen if he stays? If he stays, Arch is going to become the starter. His draft
You're just going to lower his side. Yeah. You got to get out. Get in where get in where you fit in, man. You know what I mean? Man. Leave on a high note. George Costanza, leave on a high note.
Read Hanover Fist's comment right there about Ewers.
That's what he says. He says, Arch needs to start. Ewers seems like he's playing with injuries.
But the one before that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ewers played himself into a 5th round pick.
Yeah. You're better off not playing, bro, and keep your draft stock,
Okay, so since we're talking about the draft, let's do a draft right here, okay? The draft is you, me, and Joe Fernandez walk into Specs or Texas Cheer Liquor, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We have to buy. We're gonna do a draft, a 3-round draft, right? Maybe 5 if it's funny.
Okay.
We're gonna draft what bottles we're taking under $50. Okay. So not Johnny Walker Blue or whatever that is. We walk into Specs and you say, I get to pick whichever one I want. No one else can have this. We're gonna have Fernandez have the number 1 pick. Joe get the 2 pick. I'll be the 3, and we'll go around. Okay. Fernandez, you walk into Specs. What's the first bottle you take in under $50?
I mean, I stay true to. I know there's probably better brands. There's probably better, distilled liquors. But I stay with my Gentleman Jack, baby. I stay with my Gentleman Jack.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't mind that. I mean that's a good bourbon right there.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, what are you taking?
If I'm gonna get something that's under $50, bro, low key. People are going to go ahead and pass this by and not even think twice about it. Wild Turkey 101. Not Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey 101.
Okay.
It'll get the job done, and it's not bad at all, bro.
He could have gone down the 3rd round, but he just shows how much he loves it by going for Wild Turkey 101.
It gets the job done.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, man. We're all going with that same whiskey vibe there.
Mm-hmm.
$50. I gotta go with some Maker's Mark, man.
All right,
that's not bad. That's a classic.
Yeah,
that's not
the
bad
other
at all.
That I'll mention too. You can't go wrong with Buffalo Trace or Woodford.
There you go.
Those are always good too, man.
All right, Fernandez. We'll put that in your 2nd round pick there, Fernandez. What's your 2nd round pick? Okay, we off the
For
board.
Liquor? We're still talking liquor, or we're talking about
still talking liquor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still talking liquor. We're going to the store. Wild Turkey 101, Buffalo Trace is gone, Maker's Mark is gone. What are you taking?
We're talking liquor still, right?
Yes.
Okay. Some might laugh at this, but that Crown apple, it's smooth, baby. That Crown apple is smooth, baby. So I'll roll with my Crown apple.
Okay, I'm gonna do you one better on that one. Give me that Crown Vanilla.
Oh, okay.
That Crown Vanilla gets me going.
Mm-hmm.
As Joe calls her, Francesca loves her some Crown Vanilla.
She likes that name, by the way, too, Mike.
Like that Crown apple.
What's that?
I said she likes that name too, by the way. I know she does.
She does like that name. All right, Fernandez, you got a 3rd round pick, man. 3rd round pick.
Liquor still, right?
Yeah, we're all doing liquor, baby.
Talking liquor. Okay. Well, at the 3rd round, 3rd round picks are like, you never know if they're gonna pan out or not. So why not just go in a flame? Let's go with some Cuervo. You know what I mean? Let's just say fuck it. Let's get tequila.
My God.
Let's get Cuervo. and let's just say a 3rd round pick is a flame out, bro. So
if there's any proof that you're exit 7, it's you picking Cuervo. You can pick any tequila under $50, and you choose Cuervo.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Well, I'm with my man on Midtown Texas. So
that's the natty light of tequila. Come on, man.
I said it was a flame out. I
two.
said it was a flame out. I didn't say it was a great brand. I said, fuck it. Let's just flame out. A 3rd round pick is just a flyer, you know.
Joe, what you got?
Oh, man. If I'm going to pick a flame out, dude, under what, $50?
Yeah.
I got to go with Patron Silver. I know it's not all that, but you know what? Under 50, hey, it gets the job done. It ain't bad.
I'm getting the steal of the draft in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
Steal the draft.
Yeah.
Give me some Tito's.
Oh, man. I love me some Tito's. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I should have went with Tito's. I like that.
I bring this up because this is the time of the year where people go out and actually buy a crap ton of alcohol because you get the boxes
holidays,
now.
Man.
The glasses,
gift sets. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good times, man. Good times. Hey, we have a super chat coming in. $5.47 coming in from the Drew Show. He's got to tell us why it's $5.47.
Because of Trump, dude, the president.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
5. I understand 47, but where's the 5?
45. He was 45. Biden was 46.
Oh,
47, brother.
Interesting. Okay. I'll go with it. Thank you for the tip there.
It makes sense.
Texas is about to be a 3-time loser to Georgia. Fernandez is going to sing "The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia."
You know what? I'll tell you this, man. If Texas gets there and loses for three straight times, I'm still not mad because I'll tell you what other college program made it all the way that way? So that's fine. I know Drew Show is trying to take a shot at me, but like, hey, it's all, hey, I'll roll with my team. If they get there and lose, then so be it. They got there and they lost. I mean, no shame in that. No shame in that at all.
Fernandez, my girlfriend just gave me this. I gave her this for her birthday. Do you like her umbrella?
Oh, here we go, bro.
I can't see it. I'm sorry.
You're going to get a flat on your tire for that, bro.
See this umbrella? It's a nice umbrella, right? It's not an umbrella. It's a flask.
I love it. I love it. Okay. There you go.
Dude,
it has the handle like an umbrella.
What do we call it, Fernandez? Sneaky links.
Sneaky links. Yeah. You got to take those are good to take to like your kids' games, baseball games or whatever, any kind of function that you have, all that. Take your sneaky link, take your little umbrella.
Take it to your kids' school recital.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Your recital.
Kids.
Yeah.
Little league games.
Yeah, first communion, whatever, right? Like all that stuff, right? Take it to all that, bro. I'm with it, bro. You got to. I'm telling you, man. I love my kids, man, right? And we all love our kids, but kids make you want to drink, man. You know what I'm saying? Kids are something else, bro. So nothing wrong with it. No shame in it. No shame in it. I know people don't want to admit it, but don't shame in it.
Midtown Texas. Mike drinks Tito's with Zima. Thank you.
No. I still get chills thinking about Zima, man. That shit.
Zima's gross.
My thing growing up, or when I was a teenager and all that, and people were gonna laugh, was Smirnoff, bro.
Oh, Smirnoff were okay.
Smirnoff was my the OG Smirnoff. You remember the OG Smirnoff? Yeah, the red top and all. Yeah. OG Smirnoff, bro. Fucking, junior in high school? Shit.
Now, Fernandez, Joe, you guys are exit 7. I'm down the street, Ingram Road back in the day. Don't get me started on Mad Dog 2020.
No.
I was about MD.
Come on, bro. Orange Jubilee. Bro, Orange Jubilee, Mad Dog 2020. Get our boy Spurs and Sasa on here. He already knows, bro.
Give me that orange one. Give me that orange one.
We be sipping on that in summer school, bro.
Bro, summer school with some Orange Jubilee, Mad Dog
Summer
2020.
school? You were in summer school?
Yeah, summer. I was in summer school. Yeah, I was a super senior. I took 5 years to graduate high school. I was a super senior. So,
I took summer school because I wanted to get some extra credits because I wanted to go ahead and graduate faster. So I was in summer school, and when we were there in summer school, in my math class or whatever, we'd be in the back and we'd just be drinking on that, man. MD 2020 with some orange juice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I was in summer school because I needed those credits to graduate in 5 years. So, yeah.
You're coming out and saying purple passion, baby.
Yeah. You see, I love when we start talking about all this old school necios, because all the homies start coming out and they remember. They know.
Because the kids don't know, man. The kids don't know.
Hey, now they have that TikTok where they're like, "Oh, look at this MD 2020." I'm like,
yeah,
man,
yeah. You don't know, bro. You don't want to know about MD 2020, bro.
Mexican Junior says Strawberry Hill or get the F out.
Woo, bro. Man, I remember shout out to my sister-in-law here, man, but I ain't gonna say her name, but she was notorious when we'd come, to visit, and all that, the mom's house. And I knew she was drinking, man, because I could see the bottles. And it used to be that Boonies reservoir.
Boone's Farm. Yeah.
The cat ice. And I already knew. I said, oh man, somebody had a good night.
Dude, at what point, you know how they say that phrase that there's that one day when you went out playing with your friends and you didn't realize it was the last time that was going to happen? When was the last time you had Goldschlager?
Oh, Golden Flakes.
Golden Flakes, baby.
Golden
like
Flakes
super bad.
Get you, bro.
Golden
Honestly,
vodka
bro. You know what? We're talking about core memories earlier, and you just brought it back to me. You're talking about the last time I had Goldschlager. I know exactly when it was. It was 2002. Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis fight. Yeah, that's the last time I was down in Goldschlager. I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. Those gold flakes, man. Ooh, man. Tonight, 2002.
Tonight, man. I promise you tonight, and I'll get a video of this.
No, man.
I'm feeling it. My girlfriend's walking around right now, so I'm feeling this. It's her company Christmas party, but it's going to be low key, right? So it's going to be, not, we're not peeky out or anything like that tonight, right? Yeah. Daddy wants a bull blaster tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
little
rough,
little cough medicine. What is that? That's Red Bull and oh my god, what's that drink? What is it? Is it Jaeger? It's Jaeger and Red Bull, right?
Yeah, Jaeger bombs, Vegas bombs, bro.
That's Vegas bomb.
Man, you want to get me sick, dude.
Mario Cavazos just said Everclear. Oh my god, bro.
Bro.
No, remember
my freshman year. My freshman year in high school, Everclear and Hawaiian Punch. It was just nothing but Everclear and Hawaiian Punch, bro. My freshman year in high school.
Dude, what about Everclear Jello shots back in the day?
Oh my god, Everclear is a mind eraser, bro. Oh my god,
the drink mind eraser.
Well, yeah, the drink mind eraser. Yeah.
You know what else is a mind eraser? I know. Hypnotic, dude. If you put it in the it turns to a slush, dude.
Yeah.
You start drinking on that, bro.
Yeah.
Hypnotic turns into a slush.
It does when you freeze it, man. I kid you not. Dude. I kid you not. It's like almost like a little slush, like tequila rose, bro.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I like that quote that Mike said though, because and they also said it in the office where I wish you knew that the good old times were happening when they were happening. Like you don't know, right? Like you talk about like, oh, remember the old days? Like when they were happening, you didn't know that they were the old days. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that's deep, but that's true, man. But
good times, man, when you're younger.
Well, I mean, that's the beautiful part about Uber and Lyft, right? So you can go out and get your drink on. My daughter asked me the other day, she was like, so Dad, you talk, you and your friends talk about going out, partying and stuff like that. Like, how did y'all get home? And I was like, you don't want to know the
answer. That's funny. That's funny that's what she asked. Like, that's funny that's where her mind goes. Her mind goes is like, how did y'all get home?
I told her we had a designated driver and they were only allowed to drink 4.
Hey, the answer to that is I don't know. Like I don't know how we got home, but somehow we did get home.
You know what my friend's girlfriend said one time? She called his truck Buttercup. And she goes, how was like, man, how the hell did we get home? She goes, Buttercup took the wheel. Nobody knows. Yeah, we were in the freaking driveway and we're like, how the hell did we get home? Nobody remembers how the fuck.
Dude, we're the generation of that. We're the generation also of back in the day being in the back of a pickup truck. Like no big deal. Sitting on the side, going 50 miles an hour down Bandera Road.
I love being in the back of my dad's truck. When I was a kid, man, I wanted to go back there all the time. Like I didn't give a fuck. Highway, whatever. That's crazy to think about nowadays. No seatbelts, none of that stuff. no helmets, none of that shit, man. Like,
Alex reaches out saying that Jimenez needs a 4 horsemen. Oh my God.
Ooh, oh yeah,
bro.
yeah.
The worst drinks of all time.
I know what Jimenez likes. He likes Fireball. We all know that. I mean, we all know Jimenez loves him some Fireball. I'll tell you, man, this is my last agreement of February 13th. I don't mind Fireball. I really don't. I know. I mean, Fireball to me is like an easy, like, just take it and go forward. You know what I mean? I don't mind Fireball.
It sneaks up on you though.
Yeah, no, it does. Of course. Yeah. Of course.
You know what sneaks up on you?
Cinnamon whiskey.
An old fashioned will sneak up on you when you're on your third old fashioned, and then you feel the first one hit you. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, but it gets you nice and warm though, man. It's just right
nice and
there.
Nice and toasty.
Because right now it's getting kind of chilly these days. It is December. We need to have like, you can't go to a bar right now and go, I want to have a margarita, right? Because it's not summertime.
Yeah,
you need to have whiskey. This is where whiskey and bourbon shine.
To get that warmth. You got to get that warmth in you.
Gentleman Jack,
man.
Buffalo Trace, Maker's Mark, all the Crown Vanilla.
Balcones, man. Balcones, that baby blue, that's my favorite, dude. That one's expensive, but it's expensive for a reason, because when they make it with blue corn, and man, it comes out good. But it's like $70-$80 a bottle, man. But that's my go-to.
Hey, we got to give some love to MCS. I see the logo behind you. I see the logo on your hat. Give some love to Chris Leha and his fellows over there at MCS.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show. And there you go. Shout out to MCS General.
Very cool. How hard is that concrete?
Diamond hard.
How hard is that concrete? Is it ruby hard? Is it emerald hard? No, baby. It is diamond hard.
Yeah, and the chat is powered by MCS General.
Very nice.
Make sure you go ahead and call our boy Chris Leha for all your contracting needs when it comes to concrete. If you want it done right the first time, call MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. You know who else we need to give some love to? You, Mike. Showing the number.
That's my cell number, 210-508-0369. I've been in financial services for 19 years, so help with IRAs, 401k rollovers, TSP rollovers. When it comes to matters of college savings plans for kids, life insurance, disability, long-term care, reach out to me, 210-508-0369. Fernandez, first of all, we need Sam Salinas to go take a lap for saying Maker's Mark is ass. Take a lap. Take a lap. Now, I did agree with you on something else, Fernandez. I didn't mention this. You were on Twitter the other day, and I didn't comment on this, but you were talking about how you had love for Fernando Vargas back in the day. Dude, I was a Fernando Vargas guy, man. I wanted him to kick De La Hoya's ass, dude. I was one of the few cheering for Vargas that night. Who did you want to win that fight? De La Hoya or Vargas?
I was a Vargas guy, bro. I was always a Vargas guy. De La Hoya and Trinidad. I love De La Hoya. De La Hoya had love, even when he fought Trinidad and when Vargas fought Trinidad. But De La Hoya to me, and I love De La Hoya, but he was always that he kind of forgot where he came from, kind of wanted to be above all that. Vargas was just like a G. Vargas was like Vargas. I felt more like connection with the Vargas because he was like, I felt like he was like us, he was a fucking G. He didn't give a fuck. He wasn't there for commercials. He wasn't there for endorsements. Like he was just who he was, right? I love me some Fernando Ferocious Vargas back in the day. I know we got some chat. I'm glad you brought up boxing, Mike. Thank you. And Mexican Jr. was talking about who was the best round. Was it Hagler Hearns? Was it Morales Barrera, Bo Holyfield, Corrales Castillo, right? Those are great questions. I'll tell you, man, that Corrales Castillo round was amazing. I mean, you got a guy that got knocked down twice, spitting out his mouthpiece, trying to figure out how to like stay on your feet, and then you come back and knock the other guy out. But I'll tell you, man, you're right, man. Vargas was my guy. Vargas was, Vargas was a 96 Olympian, right? So he was on the same Olympic team with Floyd Mayweather and Antonio Tarver and those guys. So Vargas, he put Oxnard, California on the map. And the famed trainer, Robert Garcia, who's a big trainer now, Vargas was with him early days. And yeah, man, I wanted Vargas to win. But he lost the biggest fights were Trinidad and De La Hoya, and he came up short on those, man. He came up short on those.
And it F with him. Like he did not.
No, of course. Back. Oh, no. Yeah. He did it. Yeah. Because he wanted those wins so bad. Oh my God. He wanted to beat De La Hoya so bad. He told this story about when they were younger and training in Big Bear that I don't know how true this is, but that, he went up to De La Hoya, was like kind of starstruck, like, oh, wow, whatever. And Oscar kind of like shunned him and kind of like, you just like get away from me. Like, who are you? And so Vargas like always had that like hatred towards him. But no, I mean, De La Hoya, obviously stopped him in 11 rounds, but
him. He could who
you? Yeah. Who are you exactly? But no, I love me some Vargas back in the day. And John Dyer, our good friend, Spurs and Salsa, would tell you that. I love me some, I didn't have the blonde tips. That's one thing I didn't do. I didn't do the like blonde Vargas tips in my hair. But other than that, I love me some Fernando Vargas back in the day. And his sons are fighting now. Yeah, he has 3 sons that fight now, and he's their trainer. So you'll see him. You'll see him in the corner, man. But I love me some Fernando Vargas, man.
I see a lot of Ryan Garcia in Fernando Vargas, or vice versa. A lot of Fernando Vargas and Ryan Garcia. But best round of all time for me has got to be anything involving Ward Gotti. Those are my favorite fights of all time.
That's true. Yep. No, that's very true. Yeah, that Ward Gotti 10th round was crazy. Was out of this world. So no, you're right, man. I agree with that. The Bo Holyfield was amazing rounds. I mean, every round that Mexican Junior just put out there is a candidate to win. But yeah, Gotti, man, literally gave his blood and guts to the sport, and anything with Gotti, man, I'll tell you, you could go back and watch those when Gotti fought Gabriel Ellis or when Gotti fought Tracy Patterson. This was before the Gotti Ward. He was already, Gotti Wilson Rodriguez. He was like all but out. He was all but out in these fights, and he came back and won them. And then he fought, of course, Ward and Mayweather. That's what's funny. Like people think about like, oh, well, Mayweather. Dude, Gotti was riding high when he fought Mayweather. Like Gotti was like on point. So those are great fights to talk about.
Yeah, look at this, man. Since we were talking about whiskey and all that, our boy Marty Cavazos, he pulled up to Specs.
I love it. I tell you what, you know what? What's great about living like like on base, the alcohol is way cheaper.
Oh yeah,
right? Like on base, right? So whether it's the Lackland or Air Force bases or whatever, here in San Diego, I'm near like Camp Pendleton and Miramar. So like I usually go on base to get my alcohol, right? And you can stock up exactly tax free. It's cheap, but you got to have the good hookup, to get on base, obviously. But no, Specs is not a bad move.
It looks like Mario was the first person there, man. He was like waiting for it to open.
He was there before the employees and shit.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, again, Spurs back in action tonight, 9 p.m. tip-off against the Trailblazers. Go Spurs, go. Try to get back above 500. Who would have thought after 25 games being above 500? Again, no Stephon Castle tonight. No Trey Jones. No Keldon Johnson. That's a lot of bad right there, right? But no Zach Collins. That's a good thing, right? As someone mentioned earlier, net positive when it comes to it. Fernandez, my man, thank you for being on the show today.
Always good.
No,
Joe,
hey, you know what? No.
The Raws of the show.
Yeah, real quick, man. I really appreciate you guys having me, man. And thank you guys so much, man. You guys do a lot for the community. You guys do a lot for all the gente. And I'm a product of you guys allowing me to like be on this platform. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, hey, man, you do a fantastic job, man. And when Spurs win, what do?
We bounce.
We bounce, baby. We bounce.
We're bouncing tonight, baby.
We're bouncing tonight. Hey, sneak peek, it might make a return. So I'm just saying, you know, they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it, but it might make a return. So
everybody be safe tonight. Bull Blaster for me tonight, man. It's going to have at least one. Everyone have a fantastic day today. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. This is the Alamo City Sportscast. Fernandez, again, you're a retired Marine. Thank you again for your service.
it's
Joe, if I'm Mexican Frazier, that makes you Mexican Roz. Love it, dude. Love that phrase. Everyone have a fantastic weekend, dude. Let's get it going on Monday, man. Go Spurs, go, and Cowboys, who cares?
Stay poodle.
Poodle Piche Cowboys. All right, we're out.
Stay poodle, baby.